This is a Quick Peek podcast.
Hi, I'm Liam Tracy.
And I'm Carla Cooper.
And welcome to Mountain Diaries.
New Zealand edition. Okay, hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to the table.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Should we say episode 2?
Not just number 2. Welcome
Sorry.
to episode 2. Number 2. Episode number 2. How exciting. Who'd have thought we made it this far?
Both of us.
Yeah, no,
we both planned this.
We both
This
planned
is very
it. And
deliberate.
we're really, if we want to do something, we do it.
Yeah, we commit.
Incredibly motivated.
Yeah.
How have you been? How's the last 4 days been? Anything noteworthy?
Everyone is doing Diamond Lake and Rocky Mountain at the moment.
Oh!
Yeah, everyone's doing it. We talked about it, and now everyone's doing it.
The podcast isn't even out, and we're making ripples in the community.
Absolutely.
Oh my
Everyone
God.
that I know that did a hike in the last 3 days has all done Diamond Lake and Rocky Mountain.
What?
Yeah, it was exquisite. Our group of friends were very hungover yesterday, decided not to do it yesterday and rolled the dice with today. The forecast originally was good for today. It rained.
It rained.
poured. Yeah, it
Was
was.
this the Adam Sandler?
Yes, this was the Adam Sandler,
party.
Yeah, Friday night,
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, everyone dressed up as a version of Adam.
Yeah.
It was great. There's lots of different versions. I left before it got too silly.
Okay.
And yeah, everyone was really suffering yesterday. So that group
didn't
do Rocky Mountain. And then they did it today.
Dressed as Adam Sandler?
No, sadly not. And it was pouring rain.
Oh no! Did they do the whole thing still though?
They did, yeah.
Unless-
They came down on their bare feet. Yeah, I don't really know. I'll find out. I don't know why. Yeah.
If we could get them on for next week.
So I think that's the noteworthy thing that's happened since we last spoke
Yeah.
was your story about Rocky Mountain, and all of a sudden everyone's doing it. What about you?
So I've not done anything. Here's the thing. I did once again try and do Mount Iron for us for the podcast, and I got close this time. I got to the good spot in my hiking gear, hiking
Excellent.
shoes, ready to rock and roll. Sat down, had a coffee with my partner Lyle.
Yeah.
A group of people came and started talking about Adam Sandler. So
Oh,
I thought
amazing.
they're
There we go.
the Adam Sandlers.
Yep.
And then I get a message saying, and I've got my microphones ready and I'm ready to do like the first like field trip segment for the podcast. And I get a message saying, hey, you still keen to meet at 2 p.m?
Yeah.
And it was 11 a.m. And yeah, I do understand there was time if you're not me.
Okay.
But I am me and I need sufficient time to decompress and nap if I'm going to then socialise. And then I had another socialising afterwards. So I did really try.
Yeah, you nearly got there.
Next time I reckon I'll get to the car park. This isn't even a long hike, it's 1 hour.
Yeah. Well, give it more time than an hour. You just said. you
Yeah.
know.
For the pod, I do want to do it.
Yeah.
And I was so like, I had all some like things to chat about and then, yeah, plans are skewed. Then we had our name-changing ceremony. So we're in like a group chat. There's some bike people that we're all in a group chat together. And when the seasons change, we have like a name-changing ceremony of the group chat name.
Right.
So this time our friend Cass had a barbecue and we all went round and sat on the fire pit.
Yep.
And then we vote on the name change and it changes and that is the official. I know we should go with the calendar when it says it turns to spring/summer, but we go with the name changing ceremony.
Love
so that
it.
felt pretty special. 'Cause we've
Yeah.
done that quite a few times now and it's like a nice move into...
And that was last night as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
Perfect
last night.
weather for it. Great barbecue
we
weather.
sat outside.
How nice.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And I've been to the secret sauna
Oh, love it.
in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I would love to...
Great mountain views.
Great mountain views if you can wear your glasses, which I can't no one can in the sauna.
Okay.
But I'm told the mountain views from in the sauna.
As a
Offie, who I went with, kept saying, "Wow, look at that," and I thought,
Sure.
wow, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
That blue smudge looks stunning. But I was thinking about this. I would love other listeners in mountain/mountain lake towns to let us know if there's a new abundance of saunas.
Yes. Wanaka in the last, let's say, 18 months.
There's just
From
an
none
abundance.
to 5?
5? What
Yeah.
have we got? Secrets on a Hawaii, Outlet,
Yeah.
Twig and Ember,
Yeah. The Hideaway.
The Hideaway, and is there one just called The Sauna?
That's the one at the Outlet. I still think there's another one in there somewhere.
and we're going to tag all of the ones we've said in that one.
Again, not sponsored by saunas.
Not sponsored by saunas. Could be, though. If you slide into our DMs. And it's just fab. So if for anyone that doesn't kind of know the whole shebang, you have, I think this is how they all work in Wanaka, 3 sets of 15 minutes in the sauna.
Yeah.
And then a cold dip in the lake or
Plunge pool
or bath, or they're all kind of different here, and obviously the health benefits are fantastic. And I friggin' love it. The first time my friend Shannon asked me to go, and I was like, I don't know if I want to pay for that. And then afterwards, I was so friggin' zen.
Yeah.
So when I did that, and
fantastic.
Then my last thing, God, I've had a big 4 days, haven't I?
You have.
I think just a little shout out for myself, nothing to do with the podcast, but maybe a concussion corner segment.
Okay.
Because I've lived, if you don't know me, I've lived with post-concussion syndrome for over a year. It's hell.
But we laugh about it, apparently.
But even though it is hell, today I was the driver over Crown Range for the first time since my concussion.
Nice.
Which is huge. Like 6 months ago, I would have been in so much pain, migraine, vision issues. And I've been passenger a couple of times. But this time I friggin' drove because I wanted to get back here for the podcast.
Nice.
Look at me now.
Look at you.
Full of painkillers.
Yeah, but still, you did it.
Raring to go.
We could do that, concussion corner.
Yeah, concussion corner.
There
Why
we go.
not?
That's
Nothing
a whole
to do
new
with mountains.
segment.
Well, it is because I got the concussion on a mountain. So,
Yeah.
it kind of is.
Yeah.
DM us or send us an email if you've got a concussion from the mountain and let us know how you're doing.
Yeah, do that.
Cool. Should we intro our guest?
Please do.
Okay. So, our first ever guest, incredibly exciting. Someone who I just think is super empowering, super courageous, and quite a big part of our little, especially our girlhood community here in Wanaka. I think is a really big part of it, always getting people to step out of their comfort zones, and I know has the most epic stories. So welcome Hannah Parsons.
Oh my gosh, what an intro. I am delighted to be here. Thank you for having me.
So much for coming to the table that doesn't really fit 3 people around it, but we're making it work.
We're making it work.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am so excited to be here with you guys. I am excited about my glass of wine. We've already had some good giggles.
Yes.
I can't wait to get this thing going. Yeah.
I did think, and I think you tell this best. Would you like to say how we know?
I would love to.
And Liam, you won't know.
I don't know,
either.
but I'm wondering if it's wine related.
It's hiking. Water.
Well, so it was our friend's birthday,
Yeah.
and on her birthday, she did a river float gathering. And so we all got together, and, obviously, if you've met Carla, within 5 minutes, I was like, I really would like to be dear friends with this person. I'm so excited about everything about what and who she is. And at that time, I was living in Queenstown, and I was still sort of trying to find my community, and I was doing a lot of hiking. And so I was trying to get a bunch of women together to do this hiking group. Yeah. And so, that was my in. I was like, okay, great. I'll go up and I'll ask her. So I went up to Carla, and I was like, oh, I'm starting this women's hiking group. Would you like to be a part of it? And Carla just looks at me dead face, and she goes, I hate walking. And that was it. It was, and how far we've come since then. We've been on so many walks.
And the fact that I think it's a tribute to you that I wanted to join that hiking group. If it was anyone else, I truly don't believe I would be in the group.
Look, it was a close thing even at that point. I was like, I don't know. I think I just blew my shot to be friends with this woman. I don't think she's going to be keen.
It was an immediate friendship. All of us were like on this, you've kind of float through, is it the Clutha River?
Yeah.
There's a couple of different spots that you can start from, like the outlet it's called, and go to like a couple of different spots that you can get out of. There were so many of us. Was there someone in a giant duck?
I think
Inflatable?
somebody was on a dock. We had a few people. Dave was specifically on an
Dave was on
inflatable
an inflatable
mattress.
mattress that had a hole in it.
It was hysterical. The
And
thing
he
just kept sinking
kept
lower
sinking.
and lower as we kept going down.
His beer was
Beer
always
constantly
in
above
the
the
air.
water. Yeah.
Inspired.
Yeah, like he was cheersing us all as we floated
And
down
also,
this river.
he didn't care at all about staying with the group. He
No,
was
God,
just
no.
like, so all of us were like holding, oars or hands. Or like, it was an incredible friendship. But I remember you being like, did you want to join the group? I was like, no, I hate that.
I hate walking.
But thank you so much. But now, because of you, we've been on some amazing adventures. But before we touch on that, should we go right back to the beginning? Not birth. We've only got an hour.
Start there. Yeah. First it was dark, and then suddenly a crack of light.
But so Liam and I kind of asked each other, was mountaining in your family? Did you find it by yourself? Like, how did that come about?
So I'm from Vermont originally, which is known as the Green Mountain State, although it's not the same kind of mountains like we have here. It's more like sort of rolling hills. And the street that I grew up on is Mount Philo Road. And, you know, there's this like little state park up the way. It's probably like a 5-minute drive. And it's just a mile to get up. It's this very small ambling. And that's sort of like the first time that I remember being like, I'm hiking. And I remember fucking hating it. I was like, this
It's a shared experience.
I am not having fun. Why am I doing this? I think we were on like a Girl Scout trip and I was like, this is miserable.
Oh, Girl Scouts.
Yeah. And so for years, I just like the hiking thing did not really appeal to me for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I mean, spent a lot of time outdoors, like did a lot of camping, you know, it's pretty rural where I grew up. But the hiking factor was not really a huge part of my life, really, probably until much later. And yeah, I went to undergrad in Switzerland and spent a fair amount of time like in the Swiss Alps there.
Did I know that?
Did you not know that? Yeah, I did. I did 4 years in a little town. It's called Lugano, so it's in the like Italian speaking section.
Okay, I'm sure in the depths of my mind over a bottle of wine, I do know that. But that's incredible.
That'll get you into mountains.
Because when you go from like these tiny podunk mountains, you know, it's like a mile to get up Mount Philo, and then suddenly you're in Swiss Alps, which are just as dramatic as they're able to be, you know. So that was pretty thrilling. And then I moved to California and worked in tourism for a while, and then eventually started working as a hiking guide. So I was taking people through the redwoods in California, and that was when I was like, there's actually something to this, like being slightly physically uncomfortable, but also surrounded by unbelievable beauty, you know, and like shared majesty of these like cool moments that you can only get when you're just apart. So that was when I started to really get bit by the bug. And then, but honestly, like my love of the mountains is 100% most been developed here in New Zealand.
Okay, so when did you...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
When did you decide to move to New Zealand? Was it?
I came to New Zealand after I left California. I did my master's in Scotland. And when I was there, I met somebody who was splitting their time between Scotland and Wanaka. And got a really good recommendation that Wanaka was a good place to be. So came down, and that was 9 years ago now.
When you say splitting their time between, would they do seasons?
Yes, yeah, seasonal worker. Yep.
Wow.
How does that make you feel as a Scot who's, I know one of the things in your life right now is kind of deciding where the next chapter is?
Yeah. It's interesting. Were they doing winter seasons and working at like? Was it up in Fort William or in Aviemore? Or?
Well, he's we went skiing in Aviemore at one point. But he like works as a boot fitter. So he's
so he did back-to-back winters.
Mm-hmm. There you go. It's interesting. I've met a few people through working at Cadrona and Treblecone who have done winters in Scotland, and I always ask them the question, why? Because we're so close to Europe where like the skiing and the snow and everything is exceptional, and then Scotland, it's not terrible. I love it there, but it's just not that good.
Shout out to Scotland.
Love you, Scotland.
Not terrible.
Love you, miss you, but it's also just not that great. So, you know, I've always been kind of fascinated by people that did it. But obviously it works and people love it
God,
too.
that's so interesting is the word I'm gonna as someone who's going winter to winter at the minute, I can't think of anything worse, but do you know what, it takes all sorts, doesn't it?
Sure does.
So 9 years ago, did you holiday to New Zealand? Did you decide to make the big move?
No, I decided to make the big move, and it's funny though because I went to enter in my information to apply for a visa, and it said your email's already been taken, and I had forgotten that years prior I had tried or thought briefly about moving to New Zealand and had gone through or started the process to get a visa, and then had kind of abandoned it because something else had happened. But then it just was this full circle moment where I was like, oh shit,
That's amazing.
not the first time I've thought about this.
This has always been, it's always been in the map of my life somehow.
It was always going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened when you moved here? Where did you move to? What
Moved
did you
straight
do?
to Wanaka. Yeah, came to Wanaka and then was in Wanaka for 2 years. And yeah, it's funny. Just yesterday, I did Isthmus Peak. So first hike of the season.
Yes.
Good to get one on the books. But that's the first walk that I ever did.
No
in
way.
New Zealand. Yeah. So I landed. And then the next day, my partner at the time said, all right, how do you want to, celebrate your first day here? And I said, I want to go for a hike. And he was like, all right, do you want to go for like a little hike to stretch your legs, or do you want to kind of get your ass kicked? And I was like, oh, kick my ass. I've been on a plane. Like I came all the way from Scotland. I want to go for a big walk. So we went and we did Isthmus, and it kicked my ass then and kicked my ass yesterday.
Yeah. And again, you're like, another full circle moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow, Hannah, this is why we're so different. When I stepped off the plane to New Zealand, I went to the pub.
Well, we did that too.
What did you do when you stepped off the plane?
I think I went to bed. I was really tired.
Yeah, because that's insane, Hannah. That's insane. Great. So I know you as this, in my mind, you have been just hiking alone since you were a young girl and being courageous, and when you're having hard times going, turning to nature. But what in the 9 years kind of happened? Where was the trajectory that brought us to who we know now?
Oh, wow, the trajectory. Big questions. I think, like, when I think about my relationship with mountains, so much of it here is linked to huts. Like, that, I think, is my most beloved component of mountains these days, is, like, the ability to access these unbelievable little fortifications that, you've been walking for hours, you haven't seen a single person, and suddenly you come upon this place that's yours for the night. This like tiny little magical refuge that's like nestled in the middle of fucking nowhere. And it is the coolest feeling, like, and that feeling never goes away. Like, every time I see the lid of a hut, that roof peeking out, I'm like, fucking, this is what I love. So my very first hut was Brewster.
Oh, wow.
And
Another big one.
She doesn't do it by halves, Liam.
No.
I went with some friends who were very fit, really, really athletic, doing these unbelievable, massive, like 24 climbs. And they had this plan, and they were like, hey, come along with us. And I had no idea what to pack or what to do. I had to borrow all my gear from everybody. I had absolutely no sense of what I needed to bring.
What?
And yeah, totally. Yes. Stumbled through this thing, had nothing. And just remember being there shivering in the shittiest sleeping bag possible. It was like a warehouse sleeping bag. I was so cold. And I just remember thinking, this is amazing. I need better gear. I'm fucking cold right now.
Oh my gosh. This is really interesting because I actually went back, if you don't mind me taking over for a hot minute.
Please do.
I went back in our chat because I vividly remember after begrudgingly joining the girls' walking group, we decided to, the first one was green.
We did part of the Caples, the Greenstone
Mid-Caples
Caples.
hut.
Yeah, so Mid-Caples we went to.
So, and I remember being like, yeah, I would love to at the time. And then the day before, because we left on the Saturday, and the Friday, I was just like a bag of nerves. So I had stayed in huts before, but not in New Zealand. I didn't know what to expect. And I didn't know everyone that well. I'd only been here like 3 or 4 months. And so I messaged you at 11 p.m. Hannah, I have 20 questions. Oh, maybe it's 11 a.m. actually, because I can get a hiking bag from someone. I've got a sleeping bag that's just an average one, but nothing fancy. Will that be warm enough? And you're like, ask me all the questions. And then you're like, there's a wood stove, it's freezing, if it's freezing, we can put all our mats in the main room and sleep next to the fire. You're going to want a new outfit to sleep in. Any sweat from the walk will make you cold once we stop. And then you're just like, I've got a million pieces of gear and clothing, so just let me know. Merino is ideal. And then I'm like, fuck, I love you. And then I'm like, what's merino?
I love that. All of this advice, by the way, is 10 out of 10.
But how funny that she
Hard earned.
You were the person doing this. And then you're like, I have a fuck ton of merino. I'll lend you all the goods. And then I'm like, you're such a babe. And then you send me this absolutely huge packing
I remember
list.
writing that packing list and being like, this is so excessive. She's going to pack all this shit and her bag is going to be so heavy. But then I was like, but honestly, like, I mostly am going for one night overnights, so my bag tends to be fucking enormous.
Yeah, this is one of your like mottos.
I just pack
want.
whatever you want. It's one night. You're carrying a heavy bag anyway. Just bring what's going to make you comfortable. Like, if you're doing a longer trip, obviously dial it back and be a little bit more thoughtful. But especially things like food, if it's one night, bring something that you're excited to eat. Like,
I heard charcuteries are often.
oh god,
what you
it's
lean
such a
towards.
classic. 100%.
It's in her blood.
It's so easy and it lasts. Like, the food is, non-perishable generally. Like, you can keep cheese for a couple of days. Like, if you don't mind it getting a little sweaty.
And who does?
And you can get those little individual packs of olives. Like, you can set up like a pretty bougie
Yeah, you got me
charcuterie.
on to, oh god, they're not called megalodon olives, but it's something like that.
Oh, colossal. I had some of those last night. I had a very dirty martini with 4 colossal olives. It was delightful. Shout out to my partner who hates olives and just learned to make me the dirtiest martini just because he knew I wanted one. He's a very good boy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I knew it was something really big.
Yep, colossal.
You got me onto them because that first hike that we did, I took a pack of me goreng.
Me goreng.
Me
Mega
teach
goreng.
colour a new word segment.
Add that to the list of things we're learning how to pronounce.
Me goreng noodles, and everyone else was like chopping things from scratch, making ramen, and I was like looking around like, oh, okay. And then Hannah explained, bring what's going to make you happy, like, and excited about it, like, to this heart.
Yeah.
That's so wild to me, going back, that you were me once. I mean, I don't know if you were ever me. I don't think you were having a panic attack while going on an overnight hike.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I have had some panicked moments in the mountains, but yeah.
I love that was you, and you were asking, and this is it. This is about females doing it together. Oh, any gender, but for us, we know more about it's passing it on and being really open to being like, I will hold your hand. Let me send you my packing list. Let me give you my merino stuff, so then you can learn for next time.
Absolutely.
Oh.
It's just this like shared enthusiasm. And we even were saying this yesterday when we were on the hike. We passed so many lovely people who were so friendly and kind and chatty. And I was like, this is such a cool community. Like, people who are walking around in these beautiful places tend to have sort of shared values, and you really see that reflected in the way that they like speak to one another and look after the place. And like, if somebody ever gets hurt, like, you can basically trust anybody on a trail to like help in a moment of need. Like, it's just a really, really solid
You're
community.
so right. Yeah, you're not walking up and seeing someone that's, you're like, oh my God, absolutely terrifying.
There's not a ton of dickheads, I will say. Like, I've not met a lot of shitty people in the mountains, Mostly they're
Shitty
pretty
people
cool.
don't want to go on big hikes.
For what it's worth, most of them have been pretty great.
Incredible. So that was kind of your first experiences in New Zealand. What the heck's happened since then? I know I know you've got like a well of stories. So what are you bringing out for us, Hannah?
Oh gosh. Well, when you were asking me, think a little bit about some of your stories, I had to pull out, and I brought this book with me just in case I needed something. But I have a couple of these different books, and the one that I've got with me, it's called A Bunk for the Night, and it's a guide to New Zealand's best backcountry huts. So it's by no means an extensive list of huts, but it's got some beautiful photos and information about some of the better ones.
Liam, you've got that
I've
book.
got that, yeah.
Haven't
I
you?
love this.
Seen that? I did
it's
have
so
that
good.
book.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And so I've gone through and I've started writing dates and names on the huts that I've gone to.
Love it.
And then when people have gone with me, I have them sign if they've gone on that day. And then on the very, very back, there's an index, and that's where I've listed all of the huts that I've been to that are not in this.
Oh, oh my God, you're doing an extended version.
So then I've got all these that I've been to that they have not categorized in here. So I did. I haven't kept this super updated because I've been slacking. Because I've been lifing. But yeah, I had a quick look, and it's around 50 right now that I have been to. And
how many are there?
Over 1,000.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where the phrase hut bagging comes in.
Yeah.
What is, sorry, I've only just learnt this.
Yes.
Yeah.
From stalking your Instagram. You put hut bagging for my birthday.
Yeah.
What's that?
So hut bagging is probably how I would best categorize myself. More than a hiker, I'd say I'm more of a hut bagger. Because for me, a lot of the effort is about getting to the hut and having a personal experience in one of these like little shelter places.
So it's bagging, going to different huts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a collection.
It's collecting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Scotland, we have Monroe bagging. And it's a type of hill. It's a hill of a certain height.
Yeah.
And in Suffolk, we have pub bagging.
Look, also equally valuable.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, new terminology. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then depending on who you ask, there's like different rules around hut bagging. So, different people are a little bit more specific about it. So for me personally, I will say that I've bagged a hut if I have like spent a good amount of time in that hut.
Okay.
If I'm being really strict, I'll say I want to have spent a night in it for me to claim it as a hut that I've truly visited. But if, for example, it's like on a pathway, you stop and you have like an extended lunch there, then I'm like, I had a moment. I feel like I, have shared time in this place. So I might consider that a bag as well. But people I have been hiking with would say, if your shadow darkens the door of the hut, they can say that that's been bagged as well. But I don't, that for me is getting a little, that for me is like when you fly through a place and you're like, oh, I like had a stopover in France, before I continued on to Germany. And it's
Paris.
like, oh, I've been to Paris. And it's like, no, really? Like if you don't actually go through the door, for me, it feels like an airport stop.
Liam, because I know.
I'm on Hannah's side of this one. Oh, for sure. Example, thinking about the France example, I've taken 2 different planes, transferred airports and all that, and trains in Paris.
Yeah.
Twice. I've never been to Paris, even though I've actually been there.
Okay. For me, do you know what, Mike? My standards are lower for myself, and that's okay. If I'd never been to Mount Iron, I reckon yesterday I would have ticked off Mount Iron.
Because you looked at it.
Because you're at the good spot, I think you need to at least be in the parking lot.
I tried to make it, because of things totally out of my control, I couldn't walk Mount Iron.
Look, it was an emotional
really
summit,
tried.
maybe not a physical one.
So I think it's okay to be hut bagging on any, end of the spectrum.
And honestly, like, that's just me being finicky about it. And everybody, obviously, and people say this all the time. It's like, you have to hike your own hike. You can view this in your own way. Like, you can be as specific and as, obnoxious about it as you want to be. And
Everyone
I realize that mine is slightly more obnoxious.
No, let's not say obnoxious. Everyone's got different energy levels.
Sure.
Different lives, different what they've got back,
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with, it's whatever makes you feel your cup has been filled.
Yeah.
And my cup is filled from far away from the mountain. Look how full my wine cup is.
Yeah.
So there's over 1,000.
Yeah, there's loads.
That's difficult to wrap my head around. You've done...
At least 50.
That's incredible. What's your most memorable?
Ooh, so I was thinking about this too.
Is it when you made it on the news?
Yeah, because this is the thing. I know this story from the news.
Okay, so this is like the story that a lot of people do know. Maybe give me another top up before I tell this
PTSD,
ridiculous story. So this was a couple years ago, and I, at the time, was doing a lot of solo hiking. I was again living in Queenstown and didn't have this super close community, and had a serious partner for a while, and we had done a lot of hiking together. But when we split, and this is something that I've found over the years, like when I'm going through something, some sort of like upheaval or turmoil or whatever, I want to be in the mountains. That is what makes me feel like myself again. It's how I process pain or excitement or anything. Like physical repeated movement, mostly walking, is like my best form of meditation. So at that time when I didn't have this really tight community like we have now, which is so cool in Wanaka, but I was doing a lot of solo missions. And so almost every weekend I was going out and visiting somewhere new. So I had this hut in mind, and it's a very cute one. It's called Ida Railway Hut. Look it up. And it's in the Otique Conservation Area, and it's along a 4-wheel drive track. So in the summertime, people can drive to it. And so that's typically how it's getting a lot of its visitors, is people who are doing 4-wheel drives. And I was like, I'm going to walk this cool trail. So I set off to go and do it. And my first mistake was that I left later in the day than I had intended to. So I set out, I think I started hiking at around 1 o'clock, which is way too late. You should give yourself time. Top tip from Hannah. Don't leave at fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon when you've got a many-hour hike ahead of you. And the sun is setting early. So I started walking, and I was coming up this hill, and as I got to the mountaintops, it's like quite a bit of ridge walking when you get up high, and that whole area had quite a bit of snow on it, more than I was expecting. And so as I first started walking along the snow, there was a really good crust on it, so no trouble. I was just walking on the top. But as the day went on and there was more afternoon sunlight, the crust got weaker and weaker, so my feet started punching through. And my friends have later taught me that means it's post-holing, where your legs are like punching all the way down to create like what you could put a post hole. So I was post-holing all the way up to my crotch for like hours. It is exhausting. So every time you have to yank your leg all the way out and then kind of tentatively put it forward and hope that it's going to hold your weight. And then typically you're just punching all the way down, and then next leg, and then punch. And it's just so exhausting and draining.
And did you cry?
There were some. I was more pissy than sad. And like just kind of annoyed with the whole situation. Time was passing more rapidly than I expected. And then I was still pretty far a ways from the hut when the sun went down. And so then the temperature started dropping, and I'm hiking in the dark, and it was getting colder and colder, and I realized, I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm actually going to be making it to Ida. But I had scoped the trail, and there was another hut that was closer. So I was like, all right, sweet. I'm going to go to Wire Yard's hut. I had seen it on the map. I sort of,
Not as much as a welcoming name.
No. And it
Wire
turned out
Yard hut.
not a terribly welcoming hut.
Welcome.
So I'm
If Wire Yard had a voice.
So I'm trudging in the dark, just exhausted and hungry and tired. And I finally see this hut, and of course, that moment of elation, excellent. I'm getting closer, and I'm like, what is going? Is that window open? And so one of the windows was open, and I come closer and I look inside, and there are snowdrifts like 4 to 5 feet deep in this hut on every bunk, pushed up against, either side of the door. And
it's not just a bit of snow, though, because I've seen these pictures.
Of snow. It's not like you could just brush it off. It was like I would have spent all my energy just digging out one side of the door to then like curl up in a pile of snow. And that was when I threw a hissy fit of Titanic proportion. I was so pissy. I just was like stomping around. If I ever find out what asshole left this window open, I will kill them. I was so upset.
Because how long had you been walking for?
7 hours. Yeah.
That's more than I've ever walked in my life, Hannah.
I was so tired. So then I was like, all right, I've got 2 options. One, I have very little energy left at this point. I'm exhausted. I can either like dig this door out and curl up here, or I can just continue on for another chunk of walking and hope that the next hut is going to be warm and dry. So that's what I did. So I just kept walking. I think it was another hour and a half. So not an insane.
But it's pitch black.
But it's pitch black at this point, and I was shattered. I was so tired. So I finally made it to Ida Hut, and honestly, I almost always will bring an alcoholic beverage of some kind.
Another great tip I've learned from Hannah
To
Parsons.
celebrate your success, and take the edge off. And it just is a nice celebratory moment for me. It's just part of my whole sort of vibe when I get to the hut. And I think, honestly, it's the only time I haven't finished my beer. Like, I was just so tired. Wow. I was so tired. Yeah. And I was reading this unbelievably sad book at the time. Have you read A Little Life?
No, I don't really dip my toe into sad things.
It was probably not the best choice of a literary selection for that moment in time when I was just so exhausted and tired. But again, it's like highs and lows of hiking. Like I also, when I was walking out the next day, there was this like unbelievable sunrise. And it was gorgeous. And I just, the little hut that they had picked up and taken from an old train railway station and then stuck it out there. It's so charming. So, you have these highs and these lows. But yeah, that one, I then posted on my story and somebody said you should put that on like a backcountry page so that people know. And I did. And then it got picked up by a couple different
news outlets.
It was so
news outlets.
I just remember the video of it panning and there just being snow on the bunks. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I had to take the sound out of that because in the background it's me just saying, these fucking assholes, these pieces of shit left the window open.
And we will put in the episode kind of socials, we'll put all of those videos and pictures because you can't understand how heart-shattering it would be when you've been walking for 7 hours. Hole punching?
Post-holing.
Post-holing.
Post-holing for 7 hours until you see what the end result is.
Yeah.
I remember that. And you have a beautiful content creation side of you where your stories for your hikes are always really, really cool and really, really in depth.
Thank you.
And I remember being on a friggin' emotional roller coaster watching that one.
Yeah, it was also a lived
from the comfort of my bed. I really felt like I was there with you. I kind of went through it too. I just wanted to take a second to do a huge shout out to the sponsor of this episode, The Good Spot in Wanaka. The Good Spot is a coffee and food truck on Anderson Road, and all the sponsors for this season are all my genuinely favourite spots in Wanaka, places I actually endorse and truly love. The Good Spot is one of my regular stops. We go there for our morning coffee on the weekends, and if I'm catching up with friends and we want to sit outside, that's pretty much where we're going to go. They have a great range of food, especially for vegetarians and my fellow gluten-free people. I've been trying to figure out or steal the recipe for the morning glory muffins for months because I genuinely think they're the most delicious treat I have ever had, and the coffee is always incredible. The Good Spot have gifted us a voucher to pass on to Hannah to say thank you for taking the time to come and share her stories with us. So truly a huge thank you to The Good Spot and their awesome team, and make sure you pop by if you're visiting Wanaka or if you're looking for a new coffee spot.
So yeah, that was a big one. But honestly, the one that I was thinking about also, because recently I just went to a friend's wedding like 2 weekends ago. And amazing. Shout out to Jonah and Nicole. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You guys
Oh my
are the
God,
best.
congratulations, John and Nicole.
And so we were all flying out at the same time. And so we took a taxi to the airport together and they were about to go off on their honeymoon. And Jonah realized that he had forgotten insoles to his sneakers. And so he had somebody DoorDash insoles to the airport. It was like,
you can do that?
Look, you're not supposed to. This guy was so upset. He was like, I'm going to get fired from DoorDash. I'm not supposed to go to the airport. It's outside of the bounds. Anyway, it was this whole drama-rama trying to get the insoles.
That never happened to DoorDash.
Yeah, anyway, his
sponsor
name is not Jonah. It's Mona. Anyway. So we were laughing about the insoles, and I was like, honestly, I also have a dramatic insole story. So there was this hut that I had heard about. It's a newer hut. It's on the West Coast. It's called Matakitake. Anyway, somebody dubbed me over that.
Matakitake.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll edit Liam's voice into
Please do. Yeah. Yes, how I perfectly pronounced it. Yes. And I had heard amazing things about it. And it's like up on the tops where you can see all the way from Oraki Mount Cook to the ocean on a good day. It is spectacular. And it's a red hut, which one of my all-time favorites. So I'm a sucker for Red Hut. So I had decided that I was going to go out to this place and walked got all the way out to the West Coast and was about to begin getting set up because I was going to sleep in my car and then start out early the next day. And I realized that from my previous trip, I had taken the soles out of my boots and I had let them dry and I had not put them back in. And it's about a 7 to 9 hour walk to get up to the hut. And I was like, I have to have soles in my shoes. So closest town is Haast.
Not really.
Not
Is
really.
a town. Love you, Haast.
Look,
Shout out to Haast.
big shout out to Haas, but
Not
Some
really
great
a town.
pubs. Excellent pubs, yeah. And as I would find out, excellent people. So I drove back to Haast. It was about like a 15-minute drive and went to the open pub because I was like, look, this is where I know people are going to be in this town. And I went in and there's this big group of men drinking beer around one of the tables. And I kind of trotted right up to them. I was like, hi, hello. Like, is there a pharmacy in town that I could like get some shoe insoles in? They all just kind of looked at each other like, absolutely not. And I was like, fuck. Okay. And they're like, do you want to just have a beer? And I was like, absolutely, I do. So
the best thing, I know you well, and I know that's the best thing. Whoever was at that table could have asked you at that point.
Like, absolutely, push over. Get me a tall boy Spates. Let's have a yap. So I pulled up a stool and proceeded to become best mates with this group of boys. And when I say boys, we mean some hardened Haast ranchers,
Yeah.
Okay.
tough individuals. And I'm telling them my story. I really want to go for this hike. I really need insoles. One guy is texting his pregnant wife at home, being like, can you bring those spare hiking boots out? Somebody else is like trying to see if somebody's coming in from town. Like, they were so helpful. And finally, this one guy ends up taking the soles out of his sneakers and just
my God.
giving them to me.
That is special.
So then they got me rip-roaring drunk. I could not drive back to the parking site out in the base of the thing. And luckily, the guy who gave me the soles actually owned like a lodge in town and was like, here, just take a room. So he like brought me to the lodge, gave me a free room for the night, gave me the soles out of his shoes. Lovely, lovely man. My mom wrote him like a thank you letter and like mailed it to him later. It was like, thank you for taking care of my daughter in her moment of need. So then he gives me these soles, and the next day I have like a knife that I use for my charcuterie, and I like cut the soles down to size. I put them in my shoes, and then like went for this hike and hiked in them all the way.
Hungover, too.
It was one of my all-time most hungover hikes.
Which is a big thing to say because I know that you like hungover often.
Pretty regularly. I mean, not uncommonly, but yeah, no, that was a bad one. I was so dusty.
But what an incredible story of like community and like
oh my gosh,
people from total different communities that would never usually cross paths, and they all kind of welcomed you in, got you real drunk, but then like tried to solve your problem for you.
Absolutely,
Did solve the problem.
Did you solve it? And more so, gave you a lodge for the night.
Gave me a lodge for the night, and I will say that's not the only time that the boys from Haast have saved me. There was another time. I think I had talked to you. I went and I was supposed to do this big hike, and that was when I found myself on what's the name of the Christian cult that's on the West Coast? Gloria Vale.
Gloria Vale.
I found myself on Gloria Vale land.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't know about Gloria, I was only recently.
You should look it up.
You should look it up on Instagram.
We'll make some recommendations.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was on the West Coast trying to do a hike, and everything was going wrong. I tried to hike up this one section. It was so slippery. It was really vertical. Everything I tried was failing. I went to another place. The car park was overflowing. Nothing was really landing for me. And I remember sending Carla this voice memo where I was like, I drove like 7 hours to be here and I'm just fucking driving home. Like, sometimes you have to just call it.
Yeah.
And that's something that
There were a few updates. You're like, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this. And after the third. You're like,
third, I was like, honestly,
coming home.
sometimes just take a hint, you know?
Yeah. The mountains don't want
Sometimes
you
it's
today.
and that's okay. Like, you have to be comfortable with the reality that, like, not every mission needs to stay the way that you thought it was going to go from the get-go.
Important thing to remember.
So I was driving back from that and realized that I was like running out of petrol and was like, okay, great. I'll get petrol when I get to Host. And so I got to Host and the one place like wouldn't take my card. Like my card wasn't working. And so I was like, had nothing. So I had to go again back into the same pub and see this. One of the boys from the last time and was like, hey.
Did he remember? Wait, did he remember?
I was like, hey, do you remember me? And he was like, yeah, insoles girl. And I was like,
He's walking around with a limp now because he hasn't had his insoles.
I was like, I need your help again. Like, can you, like, I'll transfer you money right now, but like, can you help me get some gas in my car?
Unreal.
And yeah, he did. So again, Host, beautiful, beautiful people.
Big shout out.
Big shout out
to the Host
community.
No, what did you call them? The boys of
boys,
Host.
the boys of Host. Yeah.
Hannah, incredible.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Every hut stay or hike has like a different story.
Yeah.
You know? There's always a little something. There's never one where you come back and you're like, God, just absolutely nothing happened there.
No, gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, never.
Have you've never had like a big accident, have you? Like an injury on a hike?
Christ, knock on wood. No, I have not. And I hope to keep it that way. I mean, I travel with PLB. I know other people who have had that sort of thing happen. I think the worst I've had is I've like, twisted or rolled an ankle when I was leaving the hike with the insoles on the walk down. I had to take the insoles out. They were not a great fit for my foot. So I hiked down in Tevas.
Yes.
And it was bad. Do not recommended.
Another top tip from Hannah.
I snapped my hiking pole because I was just sliding out in the mud and I like fully like snapped a pole. So, I mean, just like a couple little moments of like, just be careful and thoughtful here.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, respect that, what's happening. Don't maybe.
But that's the cool thing about New Zealand is like the main thing you have to be aware of is weather. Like we're not dealing with massive animals or dangerous critters or,
True. Yeah.
It's mostly just weather and, a shifting landscape. Like, if you're aware of your surroundings and you've got a PLB, generally speaking, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, a couple of people know where you're going when you're supposed to be home, etc.
Yeah. And, I mean, no, I've been really lucky.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah, let's keep what a short segment, thank God.
And would you say that everything that you've learned from hiking and being in the mountains, is all of it from experience? Or have you kind of invested in any sort of like seminars, courses, sort of like led experiences or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken some like mountaineering courses and like snow safety courses and that sort of thing. But a lot of it is just experience. And mostly like when I was getting started, the best thing was just hiking with people who are really experienced hikers. You just pick up amazing stuff from them. And then it's just sort of like taken on in this really natural way.
Yeah.
And I think that brings in that community piece again.
Oh, 100%. Right? People here are so hungry to share great experience. Like,
yeah. I would love to touch on that, actually. Like, I've just put encouraging others to explore. What does that do for you? Because I don't want to say not everyone's like that, but not everyone has the energy and space to do that. But I know that we all feel that we feel very safe when you're with us. And like we took Rebecca on her first hike, and I knew that even though I told her to come along and that I'd help her out, I felt comfortable because you were there helping me out, and that was way out of her comfort zone. Like, what is that to you?
I mean, that's a very lovely thing to hear. I think I've just been really lucky. I mean, Greater Wanaka and Greater Queenstown is full of unbelievably accomplished outdoors people. And they are around every goddamn corner. It's like the person who made you your coffee in the morning is also, holding some sort of a speed record for summiting Mount Aspiring. Like, these people are everywhere. And so generous with their time, with their knowledge, with their experience. Like, so much of it is just people are happy to share. And I've been lucky enough to have some really cool people take me out to some places that I would not have been comfortable or capable of doing without assist. But it's really exciting to hear that I get to sort of share that with other people.
Yeah.
That's a lovely
Yeah, well, I don't think
thought.
I'd have done any of them if it wasn't for you.
Well, you and I have had some good little adventures.
We've
had some good little adventures.
adventures.
I was thinking about it too, because I was thinking about like the people that you meet when you're hut bagging. And I tend as much as I can to avoid the more populous huts, because I do find that for me, I prefer to have a little bit more alone time or like control over space. And like when there's a huge group of people, like I've done a couple of the great walks, and oftentimes I just find that like having people in every corner of a hut and around every bend on a hike, I just feel like I've lost some of the magic of me having a moment in nature. So I tend to try and head to slightly smaller, sometimes dirtier or more worn down huts. Those are my favorites. And so when you get to those slightly gnarlier selections, you tend to find some like really interesting people. So I like the one we took Rebecca on. Remember when we went to Aparima Hut and we went in and there was this couple, and we came in and they were on the upper bunk. And they had like
They'd spread.
You know, their
out.
stuff was everywhere. They made like big nests, like food all over.
That hut was quote unquote. They didn't expect anyone else to
they
come
just
in.
thought that they were going to be there alone. And so they were like really kind of canoodling up on the top of this bunk. And, you know, we came in, there was like six of us girls, and we were, you know, so yappy, so excited. A couple girls' first proper hut, you know, and so there was just this real sense of accomplishment when we got there, and everyone was so ready to have a drink and make a charcuterie and like do the thing. And we bust open, and there's this couple who are like, so and so they, you know, they sort of start packing up, and they're like, oh, actually, we were thinking maybe we would leave today anyway. And so we started, I think you, Carla, started to like strike up a conversation.
I just felt guilty. The empath in me thought they've got this hut to themselves for the night. There's not really 8 beds.
No.
There's 6 beds. And you could tell that they were going to stay. And then when we came in, they were like, shall we go? Yeah, we should go. So I was like,
oh, it's one of those kind of hut
Yeah.
stays for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was great in the end, because they told us this incredible story. And he was like, oh, you know, we were going to stay another, but we've already been here last night. And then the lady's like, and he just proposed to me.
In the hut.
In
the night
the
before.
Oh my god.
So they had been there like 2 years prior.
It's where they met.
They were doing the TA.
No.
Yes. And so they like met there independently doing the TA, and then he was there, and then she walked, and they had this nice night together. Then they walked a huge...
No, he was staying in a tent outside.
Oh,
it
yes.
rained.
Yes.
In the morning, she like knocked on his tent. Well, I don't know, you can't do that. She scratched on his tent and said, I've left some firewood inside for you, so like, hope you can warm up. He decided, like, that's so nice, I'm going to try and catch up with her.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No. We were losing our minds.
You can imagine 6 giddy girls getting told
we were
this
all
story.
having a wine. Oh my God.
Wow.
It was so special.
So then they like followed, and then huge section of the TA they did together, and then struck up a relationship. And then years later, they decided to come back and visit the same hut that they met in, which was the night before. And he went, and this made me lose my goddamn mind. So in all of the huts in New Zealand for safety, they have a log book. And so you sign your name and any wildlife that you've seen and when your intended departure and coming out is. And so he was like, oh my gosh, I think we know the people who have signed the line of the hut book just before we got here. Have a look. So she went, and he had written, will you marry me? In the hut log book.
Oh my gosh.
No.
That is adorable.
we were
That's heart melting.
We were
freaking out.
losing our minds.
Oh my God, what an incredible
The chorus
start.
of women just oohing and ahhing. They could not have asked for a more rapt audience. We were engrossed in this story. We were so committed, you know? And you could see, we just, oh my God.
Yes. Oh, that was so special, wasn't it?
They were
leave
great.
quite
And then
shortly
they were like, okay, let's get out of here. We'll go get a hotel. And like,
They didn't
fully,
stay the night.
no, they had stayed the night prior and obviously had their lovely evening. But then they were like, okay, maybe the moment is
maybe,
time to bounce.
Maybe we won't,
And you signed the logbook when you
Yeah.
were there?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely,
So
I took a
sweet.
picture. I've got it somewhere.
Yeah. I
but-
forgot that that's how he did it.
Yeah. Oh, I did not. I
God,
was
it
like,
was so
oh my God.
sweet. My
As a hot bagger.
As a hot bagger, I was like, this is the dream.
my stand-up one, if you don't mind me telling a little
Please.
story that you know, is when you said like it's about the people you meet and everything, it reminds me of the two young hunters we met. What hut was that?
We went to Crystal Hut, so it's out at the end of Skipper's Canyon.
Have you been to Skipper's Canyon?
Never been skippers.
Totally terrifying.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
beautiful.
look, the road is treacherous.
Terrifying.
Like fully treacherous, but it's magical
So
out
beautiful.
there. And Crystal is awesome because it's a 45-minute walk.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's quick.
Hannah really knows her. This is what I mean. She knows, like me, she knows that I don't have like a huge amount of like energy and I'm a lot more fatigued than other people, and I find I have a bad hip and I find things a little bit harder. And she knows, like, you know, I would never have found that hut, but she was like, yeah, this is where we're going to go. It's not that long, you know, but we can still...
Fairly flat.
Yeah. And we can go raspberry picking the next day.
which we did.
So we went to this hut and we were kind of like, we know there was not so many beds in it. So we were like, let's kind of just, if it's full, we'll turn back and we can either sleep in the car or we can just go home. Like, there's no biggie.
Again, it's only 45 minutes. If there's people there, we can bounce.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
So we get in there and I remember there were sleeping bags on the bed and they'd put all their stuff in their sleeping bags. I could quite clearly tell there wasn't anyone in the sleeping bags. But Hannah was whispering and I was like, I wonder why she's whispering. Like, some sacred thing when you get into a hut. Like,
well, that is part of it too. There's like all these like recommendations on best practice for when you're in a hut, you know, and like sleep is so important. It becomes a safety issue. And so I was trying to be like a very responsible hut visitor, even though it was like 4 in the afternoon, you know.
And you are right,
like,
it is
okay,
like it's
these
important
guys.
to, if they were sleeping, it's a refuge. Before anything else, a hut is a refuge, it's not a party place, you know? Big girl things. But yeah, and I was like, Hannah, there's no one to sleep. And she was like, yeah, there is. And I was like, ain't no one's body looking, no one like body shaped like that walked to a hut. Like, so then we spoke normally and we were kind of like, okay, like let's not drink because you might not stay. And then an hour passes and we were making did we make nachos or chili or something?
I think we made chili.
Yeah, we made chili from scratch and
we played some banana grams.
and by that time we were like, oh, fuck it, let's just
crack
have
the
one
wine.
glass of wine. And we played bananagrams and Hannah didn't understand the rules.
It was my first time. I had never played.
Do you know bananagrams, Liam?
I do.
So
I
she
sympathise.
No, I don't think you can sympathise with this. She thought because you obviously start with 15 tiles. She thought you had to use every tile for one word until you could pick up a new tile.
Yeah, wow.
I struggled.
Phosphorescence.
Adversity, you know, like she was, and I looked over and I was like finished, and she was like she was like, how? And I was like, no, sweetie.
Nice.
So anyway, we were like, okay, look, we've had a few wines now, we're committing to it, and bearing in mind this hut is crap.
4 bunks,
4
teeny
bunks.
tiny.
The top ones are in the ceiling, and they'd taken the bottom bunks,
And
so we knew we were in the
It's
top
a
bunks.
really old hut. Like
Yeah.
it's an old gold mining hut.
yeah.
No
like
toilet
a
in this
proper
one.
old hut. There's
Yeah,
no
no
toilet. Yeah,
toilet.
it's historic.
So and it's getting darker and darker and later, and we're kind of like, gosh, we'd had a little bit of not the best time with a few girls at the Mid Caples hut with a couple of hunters that had gotten a little bit too drunk and
yeah,
were
they were
quite,
quite loud.
leery and
Yeah.
loud till the early hours, and I think we were like had that in our minds. We were like, let's just see how it goes. And then these two like young boys come in.
They were
looked-
like early 20s, like
20s.
22, 23.
yeah,
babies.
and you know, first of
Yeah.
all, you know, it's kind of like, hello, hi, you're right, yeah, you're right. And then they're through in the other room, and we've had some wine, and we're like playing bananagrams and eating cheese and everything. And then Hannah just like strikes up a conversation. She's like, "Where are you guys from?" And we end up just having the most wonderful conversation and finding out all about them. And they have such a different life than us. They're both married with like wives, and they love going hunting for their like downtime.
Deeply religious.
Deeply religious.
Really passionately Christian.
Very passionately
Okay.
And I just remember thinking, like, you know, the more the conversation went on, the warmer we all each kind of all got to each other. And then we all kind of went to bed at the same time.
Oh my God, I love this.
So, and we're like on the top bunks, kind of, you know, on the opposite sides of the rooms, and they're on the bottom bunks. And in our little community, we often do things at the end of the day, and we say, what was your peak and your trough of the day? I think I remember Cassie doing it the first time.
Peak and pit.
Peak and pit. Yeah. Peak and pit. Yeah, trough, lol. When did you go with the pig's feet? And Hannah was like, and I remember you were like, okay, Carla, what was your peak and pit for the day? And I like froze up a bit because I was like, these people weren't like this. Like, this is embarrassing, this is vulnerable. But I kind of said like, oh, it was, you know, this and this. And I think mine maybe was when I tried to go and wash the pan in the river and like nearly fell in the little river. And then Hannah goes, guys, what's yours? And I was like, no. Nice. I was like, oh my God, no, like these hunter dudes, no. And they like, you know, there was like silence. And then they both said their peaks and pits. And then there was silence. And I was like, are they going to be like, okay, night? Or like, lame? Or like whatever. And one of them just goes, I'm going to take that back for my wife and do that with her.
Yeah, they asked us, they were like, do you do this every night?
And he said he was going to take it back and do it with his wife.
That's sweet.
It was so, we just melted.
So
it was
cute.
Such a moment.
And I just was like, I would never, you know, I came in with these stereotypes like hunters, you know, and then they loved the peak and pit, and I was like,
they were really excited.
And then we didn't get a wink of sleep because the possums were using the top of the
they were
hut as a slide. Is what I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In the nighttime, they put lots of different slides on the top of the hut and go down them because there was... And bearing in mind, our face was maybe 2-3 inches from the ceiling.
God. We were right there.
Yeah. But that, I just remember, like, I've really kept that with me because I was a bit like... I think I had a bit of a front to begin with. And then I was like, wait, those dudes were friggin' awesome.
Yeah, we just broke through. It was obviously we were coming from these very different... Like, you know, we were... sinking wines, having yaps, swearing a lot, and they were, you know, 22, 23, had been married for some time, owned their own home, owned their own business, did not drink, went to church every Sunday, but like by the end of the night, we were all
like
doing chit-chatting
together. Yeah, like
so
how
cute.
in its tiny little shabby hut.
And it was just like I don't know, it was just one of those magical
It was really
hut
magical.
moments that you only...
Yeah, it was my favourite thing about that hut.
Oh, well, I just want to give one more shout out to that particular trip because my peak maybe of that whole trip. Do you remember when you fell?
Is it are you saying the starfish?
Did you
Okay,
have a
This
fall?
is what the one I was like saying to you about with the tussock, and I became a starfish.
God.
Okay, so
This is the one.
This is the same. Oh my God, it's the same trip.
the same trip. So we're hiking out the next day, and there was this section of the track that had slid away. It was on like a fairly steep hill, and like just a chunk of it had slid out, and it was
a really thin track.
Very narrow, and so you just had to be quite careful as you were stepping around it. And I was ahead, and then I heard this little noise behind me, and I can only describe it as like, and I turned around, and Carla's gone. She is fully gone. She is off the trail. And I was like, what has happened? So I like kind of rushed back, and I look over the edge, and Carla has somehow completely inverted herself. Like she is upside
Upside down, face down the mountain,
down the gorge,
hands gripping onto tussock for dear life.
And I just could not help laughing.
You were so
"Are
good,
you
though."
okay?" And you were like, "Yes, I'm okay." And then I could not breathe for laughing.
Yeah, you were so good. You were like, "Are you okay? Can you get out of this?" And I was like, "I'm definitely okay. I think I can get out of this." And then I just remember like, I was like, the only way, because if I'd have let go, I would have slid down. So I had to keep like grabbing different bits of tussock and trying to like
kind of get your
turn
head
upwards
again. It was,
and I kind of made it a quarter of the way around, and I just see Hannah with her phone, and she was like,
Good. I was going to ask. That was going to be a naughty question.
Like,
Please, did you capture
she was
this?
like, don't.
I got her crawling out. I didn't get the complete inversion because I did just want to be on hand while she sort of repositioned herself. But as soon as I could see that she fully had it under control, I was like,
You were good. You were like, we're safe.
Document this.
Let's document it. It was so wild. One minute I was upwards, and then I was just downwards.
1 minute you were there, and the next you were fucking gone.
And then we couldn't, like, you know when you, like, in a classroom and you're not meant to giggle, and we were, like, on the way back, like, walking back, and we just kept giggling.
Could not stop giggling about it. It was too
Yeah, it really
funny.
gave me a boost, an adrenaline boost for the day.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
And then we picked the most incredible raspberry.
Yes, so that's been my annual raspberry pick.
Yeah.
So like
Golden
every single year,
raspberries.
you can go end of Skipper's Canyon.
Yeah.
I usually go like first weekend in February, and they have huge fields of wild raspberries. So you can truly go out and just pick.
Yeah, we
as
shouldn't. Yeah, this
many
doesn't
as
need to
you
be
want.
like gate kept.
Wow.
Like they are the most delicious raspberries.
Yeah,
I've
regular
ever had.
raspberries, golden raspberries. I bring containers and then I freeze them, and then you've got free berries for.
God, that was amazing. I made my first
okay.
jam with those.
many
Absolutely
top tips.
incredible.
Oh yeah.
So, where do you go from here? Do you feel like your kind of journey with mountains is like continue hut bagging? Because I know you also like to ski tour, and you've been doing some stuff with crampons.
Very basic entry level mountaineering.
Yeah.
And I do think that's probably the direction that I will continue to move into. Just because, and this is a ridiculous reason for this, but again, I love a red hut. And the red huts tend to be the alpine huts.
Yeah.
Liam's nodding at me.
Yeah.
So they want them to be red so that you can see them popping out of the snow.
Oh,
And so it's a visual safety thing. So for me, the aesthetic of the red is so appealing. And so if you want to get up into that area during a big section of the year, you need to have the snow skills to support getting up there. So that alpinism is probably the next step. So I've done a little bit of like entry to mountaineering, but that's probably where I'll need to continue to expand, do some more rope skills stuff. But yeah, my list of red huts that I'm dying to go to is like very long.
Yeah.
Very long.
Which one would be the one that if you could do it tomorrow?
Oh, I want to go. Okay, Colin Todd hut.
That's it. That's
Oh,
the one.
come on!
That's
Yeah.
him.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm just so hungry for it. I want to do Colin Todd so buddy bad. So Colin Todd is so high up there. Then Caroline Hut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple that are in Rocky Mount Cook. There's a few that are up on the West Coast. Chancellor Hut, some that are like
Chancellor looks amazing.
proper
Yeah.
aggressive mountaineering to
Big
get
time.
to, or
Yeah.
like heli in and then
Oh.
do some like glacier travel up there and like, yeah. But yeah, Colin Todd is like my local dream hut that
is-
I'm
That's
craving.
mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
And
right, well, let's make a plan.
When you were talking earlier about like knowing, having that moment where you know you're like, okay, this isn't gonna be going the way that you planned it to go, and you had to make a decision. That was the big one for me. That lesson was learned when trying to get to Colin Todd,
Yeah.
and I just was like, I can't do it, and I have to turn back. And
Yep.
if I don't turn back, it's the wrong decision.
Yes.
Whatever else I do, it's the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ego aside, like I know what needs to
Yeah.
happen here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, love that.
Yeah, that one I'm hungry for.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you can take the lapel mics and you can do a field
There we
trip.
go.
Look, truly, I would go.
And
Obviously,
I'll
I gotta get
stay
my
here.
like hiking fitness up, but this summer I genuinely want to do some of my like. I've got a mission list, probably like 30 long, and Colin Todd is close to the top. I
Yeah.
really want to hit that.
There we go. Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
February, March.
Yeah.
We're on.
Keen,
There you
keen,
go.
keen.
Oh my god, watch for the update.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Liam, do you have any other questions that you have before we kind of maybe go into like some quick fire?
No, let's go quick fire. In terms of like soundtrack to mountains,
Yes.
is there a song which you would listen to that is like inspiring you to get out there or motivates you? Is there something that is like your go-to track in relation to hut bagging and time in the mountains?
I've got two. All right.
But no.
I do.
Carla's really strict on
Why didn't you
this.
understand the question?
You said a song, and I said I have two.
Okay.
For two different experiences.
Oh, okay.
So one is like more of sort of an ethereal, like I'm having a magical moment, like taking in the joy of this walk and this beauty. And that is a song that's called Clouds, and it's by Bunt.
Ooh, okay.
And it's like very bouncy, sort of EDM electronic, kind of like beat boopy, beautiful.
Great.
Awesome. But then when you're actually out on the tops of things, the song that I often hear in my head is a song called Mount Everest, and it's by Labyrinth. What is this face?
The face is that my song is Everest by Public Service Broadcasting.
Oh my
Weird is that?
We'll just be sat in Colin Todd listening to Everest.
Oh my god, I'm so in for this.
Loads of songs with mountain. How weird is that?
Come on.
There you go.
Yeah, so those are my two for sure. For different,
Okay.
different moments. One for when you're like, oh, this is beautiful, and another when you're like, I have
need-
achieved this.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm feeling
I'm
really,
feeling powerful.
powerful. Yeah.
Great, we have an actual playlist that we'll add these to.
Great, fab.
Which is great, and everyone can listen to those 4 songs in a minute.
Oh, okay.
It'll
So
grow.
we're
It'll
so
grow.
strict. You can only have one.
Well, you said you could.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll give you more if you're,
No,
if
no,
you're
no,
open to it.
no. Each guest can have 1. I don't want any guests from now on thinking they can have 2.
All right. Well.
Yeah, and then in terms of, as this is the New Zealand season for Mountain Diaries, bucket list, if someone's coming to New Zealand for the first time and they ask you for like your recommendation, top recommendation, for time in the mountains.
100%. I'm just gonna say you have to stay in a hut. Like
Great.
that is my number one thing. There is a hut for every fitness level. There is a hut for every like level of access to service and tidiness. So you've got huts like anything that's on like a great walk. You can talk like sub 2 hours. Really, really nice facilities, bookable ahead of time, so you know you're going to get a bed.
Love.
Gorgeous, just really, really nice. Or, you know, you can have ones that are obviously slightly further afield, that are absolutely magical with unbelievable views. You can have things like, I wrote down, have you guys been to Greta Lodge?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Greta Lodge is this ridiculous hut that people often party at. You can literally drive to it, and it's along Lake Ohau.
Oh dear.
It is so dirty, and I love it so deeply. Definitely sleep in your own sleeping bag. Like there's like an old gnarly mattress there. But yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna want to put down your own mattress. But yeah, so like there's something for everyone. But I honestly would say if you're coming to New Zealand and you have any sort of desire to sleep in a sleeping bag, spend
Go
one of
to
those nights in a hut.
Incredible. I think that's such a good one.
Yeah.
In like beautiful umbrella, you know. Everyone can do it.
Yeah, in any part of the country, there's huts everywhere.
Like, yeah. How many? 1,000?
Over 1,000.
No,
Yeah.
too much. Too many. Incredible. Great. Does anyone have anything they want to shout out? Anything, anyone, anywhere they want to shout out before we finish? Liam, any shout outs?
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't like. Did you have a good chocolate bar this week? I don't know.
Shout out to Framingham for a great salve.
Yeah.
It's white.
Oh my god. Yeah. Perfect. Hannah, any?
Honestly, shout out to you guys. This has been really fun.
Yeah, it has been fun.
I will say I was nervous.
Everyone's
to
always
come and have
nervous.
it. Yeah, but then I was like, honestly, I could talk about hiking in huts for hours,
Yeah.
truly hours, and
Yeah.
I would never get bored. So it has been just a delight to hang out and have a yap with you guys. And
It's really wonderful to have a space where you can be like, just talk about you and your adventures for an hour.
it's pretty cool.
Great.
And great stories too.
And no, I know you do have something to shout out.
The Boys of Hast.
One, the boys of house. The pillow. You love your hiking pillow.
Oh, I do. Okay, I have. Oh shoot. I might need to send you some information on
Okay.
this because I've forgotten it. But I have. The
I can add
world's-
it in.
I have the
Carla here. The pillow that Hannah is talking about is Nemo Philo Pillows. Not sponsored, but happy to be. Nemo, send us a pillow.
World's best hiking pillow.
Hannah
I love
loves
it
it.
so deeply. It's part memory foam and it's part inflatable.
Wow.
And it is the best night's sleep I've ever gotten. And I love that pillow and I will live and die by it.
I was just thinking about shout outs and I was like, Hannah needs to shout out the pillow because every time we're at a hut, she's
love
like,
that
here's
goddamn
my pillow.
Yeah. Listen to me talk about it. I love it. It's
Okay.
so good.
Incredible. I want to actually shout out also my wine, not just because Liam did his. But because, listen, I bought it because I just thought it looked fun. Tipping Point, the Opportunist Shiraz Barossa, and then I read it. Your purchase of this drop goes towards helping the Kia Conservation Trust to preserve and protect Kia and ensure they have a sustainable future.
Love it.
I didn't know I was such a good person when I was buying this bottle of wine.
I did.
So
but
just
well
like
done.
Kia, actually, the diagram on the picture on the front's Kia with
Kia
a
with a
hat
hat
on.
on.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I just thought, actually, yeah, I do want to shout out Tipping Point, the Opportunist Shiraz. Incredible. Hey, thank you so much for coming to the
Thank
table
you,
and
guys.
sharing your
This is
stories.
awesome.
And yeah, I reckon people can get a little bit of inspiration from you and just to get out there, do it, give it a go, find other people to teach you.
Yeah. And honestly, like, send questions if anybody's
Yeah.
curious
Yeah.
or needs recommendations. I will
Yeah, or
always talk
Or
about
your massive in your list. Of
Oh, God, my
packing,
list is
'cause
very
it's
long.
really helpful.
my list of want to access is
Yeah.
constantly growing.
Fabulous. All right. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. That's Carla's sign off. Little kiss to the mic. This podcast was hosted by Carla Cooper and Liam Tracy. Artwork by Charlotte Murray.
If you've enjoyed listening to our podcast, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and leave a review wherever you're listening. This really helps more people to find our podcast.
Unless it's a bad review, then just pop it in your personal diary and don't share it with anyone else.
If you'd like to buy us a coffee or snacks for our next guest, please follow the link in the episode description to make a donation.
You can follow Mountain Diaries Podcast on Instagram at Mountain Diaries Podcast,
On TikTok at Mountain Diaries Podcast.
on YouTube at Mountain Diaries Podcast,
On Facebook at Mountain Diaries Podcast.
and on X at MTN Diaries Pod. Thank you, Twitter.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, have an idea for a hike we should try, a backcountry hut recipe you think we'd love, or if you know someone you think should be a guest on our show, email mountaindiariespodcast@gmail.com.
See you next time.